friends, today we are going to talk on a very important topic, that is explosion. What? What explosion? What the heck is this? In 2020 we saw the virus explosion. Thereafter came the mirrorless camera explosion, and in 2023 we are seeing the AI technology explosion. It's still going on, it's exploding, and explosion after explosion we are bombarded, but still we are surviving. That is the greatness of life. My name is Murali Narayanan. I am a professional photographer and a photo editor from Chennai. For the last 15 years, I have been following Photoshop, which is my favorite photo editing software. And in the recent past, Adobe has given some very useful AI tools to work on. And what is this AI all about in photo editing? It has got two major benefits. The first is AI takes over the laborious and the manual work which we are doing in the photo editing by automation. The second benefit is time saved. Time saved is money earned. So what are we waiting for? Let us jump into Photoshop. Come along with me. This is what I am talking about, the new gradient AI tool recently launched by Photoshop Adobe. Now, is it not awesome to bring 4 or 5 images and blend them together in one canvas? We can do it. It's not complicated. It's very easy. Just follow the steps one by one. Now, this is what the first step is. First step is we have to bring all the images into Photoshop. So, File, Script, and load files into a stack. Now, browse where the images are located. I selected my 5 images. Press OK. It's getting here, and then press again OK. Now Photoshop is loading one image after the other. So all the images will come within few seconds. Step number 2 is to resize these images. So and resize them and place it in locate them in the canvas. So what is the shortcut for the resizing? It is Control T, or transform we are talking about, and Command T in Mac. So I am resizing this and placing the image in one corner. The same thing I am doing for the same process I am doing for the other images also. Control T, resizing and keeping it here. It's okay if it is not very perfect. We can also do it the last. The third image, same process. Now no difference. I resize it and locate it here. The fourth, also the same process. Control T, bring it in this corner, resize it. Now a little bit imperfect in your resizing, no issues. I show you in the end how we can correct that. We have brought all the 4 images to our likes. Now what we have to do, we cannot ignore the background. The background also has to undergo the same treatment. Control T, Shift, and I'm going to fill the whole canvas with this. Okay, now we got all the images into Photoshop. I don't want this image because this is what we are going to recreate. Now the important step number 3, please be careful on this. The background layer is to be opened always, and start opening one image at a time. So don't hide all the other 3 images. So we work on the first image. Our paint swatch should be black in the foreground, white in the background. We are clicking on the gradient tool, and then this is the gradient which we are selecting. This gradient is transparent in the front and back is black. Okay, gradient is the selection we have done, and we have to select the radial. So 1, 2, 3, and the gradient is selected. All these are the settings which is very important, and most important is you add a mask. You work on the mask. The mask is where the gradient will get applied, not on the rasterized layer or the subject layer. Okay, we added a mask, and we have having a good knowledge about this setting now. Now what we have to do next step is place the cursor in the center and drag a little bit downwards. Now you see the subject is getting revealed in the background is black, and you are finding the subject in the transparency. This is the control of the gradient. So if you move the slider to this side, you will see more of the subject. And if you move the black, that is the mask towards the black mask towards this, you will see more of the background. So what is actually covering here? The black is covering the subject, and the transparency here is the control to reveal the subject. So this is the control which you are having, and this is a very simple way to control the amount of blending which we are doing. Now this is one major method to do. There is another method which I will show you afterwards. Now let us go to the second image. Second image, again we are adding a mask. Then the setting and all is same, there is no changes. Press the cursor, bring it down here, and there we go. The third, the same thing we are doing, add a mask, cursor, bring it down, you get the gradient effect. The third also we are doing the same process. Now you can also grab the center point and pull this gradient here, so repositioning of the gradient is also possible. So that is another thing which you can remember. Now I have done rough, it's a rough thing which I have done, but I want to do some fine tuning. This is where the step number 4, which we call it finishing. Now here what we can do is another method, if I can show, is that select the brush, keep the gradient on, it should be on, then take the brush, and with a white brush what you have to do is select the mask. Mask is very important. Don't work on the rasterized layer, that is the subject layer. Your brush will not work. So I am selecting the brush, make it slightly bigger using the left bracket key, and paint on the subject. See, the subject gets brightened, and this is an easy technique for us to give the finishing touch for our blending of the images. Same thing, I can go for the second mask. I can also adjust the flow if I want a little bit more. It's always better to have the flow at a low level and then increase as you require. Don't go for 100% straight away. Now I also can use the black paint and bring the effect of the background, blend the background into the subject. So this is the way, this way the brush also acts in two ways, one to reveal the background and one to hide the background, reveal the subject, and become more bright by using the white paint. So let us do the third one. I want to brighten up, and I am going to use the black brush and reveal some of the background so that the subject blends into the background in a better way. The last image, select the white paint, reveal a little bit of her neck, make the face a little bit bright, and again take the black brush and reveal the background. So the blending becomes more refined. By this way you can achieve a more artistic look. Now let us remember one more thing. A is not going to replace our visual or artistic approach. It is our artistic vision that we have to exhibit in our photo editing. AI is a tool to help us to speed up the process, and that's what we have exactly done. Now the last finishing in the fourth step, we can call it as a fifth step also. We can add a color wash so that all the colors get unified to a certain extent. Now one thing we have to remember is that when you close the document, you can't reopen and then again start editing on the gradient. You have to do it now before closing. For example, if I feel that this particular, or this one, let us say, I want to resize again, you can do that. Control T and increase a little bit. Next, this image I want to also resize little more. You can do that. The third image, again Control T, I tilt a little bit, resize it. So all this we can do provided you are in the, before closing the document, you can do this. So now I have done almost resizing and finishing it. It's okay. Looks good. Why not? And the amazing part of this is you can bring in any photographs of your genre. If you are a wildlife photographer, bring all the wildlife images. If you are a food photographer, you can bring the completed dish in the center and bring all the 4 or 5 main ingredients here. If you are a macro photography, images you can bring. Whatever genre of photography, you can bring this into and make into a gradient blending, which will be a very good presentation. Wedding photographers also will find it very useful in making blending of 3, 4 or multiple images into one canvas. Hi, hope you enjoyed this video on the new gradient tool. If you found this useful, please click on the like button and also on the subscribe button. And if you have any suggestion for new tutorials, please mention in the comments section. And one more favor for me, please share the link which I'm giving you in the description in your social media handle so that together we nurture this channel to a greater heights. Thank you and see you next time. Bye.